Right, so from your perspective, these talks could actually go on past Christmas.
No, they couldn't go on past Christmas.
Well,
I think
when
we would
actually
need
is
a
the
ratification
last
period.
date, do you think? Just to get clear in everyone's mind, without all the kind of toing and froing on both sides, and without necessarily going with Boris Johnson's October the 15th, what do you think the last day, the last moment is?
Well, I think, Justin, it's actually very unhelpful to put arbitrary dates on this. And we've seen this throughout the Brexit process, where we've had these big moments.
But I suppose I'm not asking for an arbitrary date, I'm asking for an actual one.
Well, that's the thing. There isn't a firm date. We're already missed so many deadlines at this stage. We in the European side have always said we will work through this process continually. We're into negotiating rounds now that were never scheduled originally, and we have a responsibility to the people in the EU and the UK to keep in discussions. We can keep going for a while. I would like to see some sincere progress over the next few days, and if it is a matter of fact that we come to something by the 15th of October, that's all well and good, but I don't think we should be distracted by that.
And what others say, and you hear this from Brussels as well, is that actually perhaps what we need is a period of no deal that might last a few months next year. That concentrates people's minds, and we still, of course, then have to go back to some kind of a deal, because that's where eventually we'll get to. What do you think of that?
I think that's a very nuclear option. I think the whole point of this process is we have a withdrawal mechanism under the Article 50 terms of the Lisbon Treaty, and we had the transition period. Regrettably, the British government decided not to extend that. The means to get a deal are there. Going into a scenario in a no-deal situation is extremely worrying for everyone. To throw that potential economic shock on the back of what is already a very difficult economic time due to the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic would be an absolute failure of politics by both sides.
But possibly only a temporary failure, and we wouldn't have a border on the island of Ireland, would we? Neither side is going to set up anything in the way of a hard border, so it would be something that could be copable with.
No, and I don't think we should use it in such light terms. We have the opportunity to get a deal. We have the responsibility to get one. And whilst things mightn't change instantly on the 1st of January, particularly not in the situation in Ireland, it would be a major economic shock. And it's not just that simple to say, oh, well, we won't get a deal. We'll pick things all up together and we'll get a series of mini deals. That's not an offer. Ultimately, the European Union's approach won't change. We have the opportunity to get the deal. And what we have a serious concern in Ireland within the EU is that the British government have responsibilities to that withdrawal agreement, and bear in mind the withdrawal agreement and the Irish protocol, that kicks in regardless, but we cannot open the spectre of a no trade deal or no overall deal scenario and the threat that would put to the situation in Ireland.
Neale Richmond, thank you very much.
3 minutes to 8.